Hello everyone, today we're doing TryHackMe's Hijack. So let's copy the IP and then we'll set it. This is a capture the flag. So we'll do a Rustscan real quick. Looks like they're still warming up. That's not all the ports it should find. There it goes. So it finds about 9 ports or so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9. So we'll do an Nmap scan on those. And then we'll start a Feroxbuster scan on the directory or on the web page for directory scanner. While that's running, let's visit the web page. So we get welcome guests. There's a login, a home page, administration, and sign up. So if we go to administration, it says access denied. Only the admin can access this page. So it's not asking for a login. It's just saying that the admin only the admin can access this page. So that means it's using some sort of authorization cookie or session cookie. And being the room name's hijack, that means probably gonna have to hijack that. So there's a login and then a sign up. So usually you would make a user. So username, let's just do hacker. Password is gonna be password 1, password 1, and then just hit sign in. Not now. Username hacker, password 1, not now. Welcome hacker, site's under development. So if we go to storage and we'll copy our cookie and then open up CyberChef. It's base 64, so you go from base 64, and then you get your username, a colon, and then MD5 hash. And this MD5 hash is the password that you made. So this is actually just password all lowercase with a 1 at the end of that. And to confirm that, I'll just do this. Crack station. Password 1, see? So we know what the format of the cookie is. And we know it says only admin can access this page. So we know that this needs to be admin, but we don't know what the password is. So if we go here and you see there's all these pages, this is still going. I don't know why didn't it find any more ports than that. Um, Estimated time of completion 20 minutes. You're smoking some. No, it says remaining 1 minute. I don't know what's going on with that. Well, I don't think this is going too crazy, so I'm just gonna take off this vulnerability part. I don't think that's not necessary. I'm gonna speed it up a lot. What's the same ports as it were from? 47932. No, that's why they're not found. Sorry about that. There we go. All right, so right here we get there's NFS, and then these other mounted shares, and then in locker management. So if we go here and we look for mounts, we just do show mount and then the IP address with the E flag. And sure enough, there is a mount called share over there. So what we can do is we can mount to that. We need to make a directory to mount to, so I'm just going to do sudo make dir and then just name it NFS in my actual mount directory. And then we need to mount to it, so we'll just do sudo mount. Do this syntax. So the T flag for type, which is NFS, the IP address, the remote mount that we're mounting, which is that, so mount share, and then the mount that we're mounting on our system, which is this directory, and then the O flag for no lock. So if something happens with the connection, you don't get stuck in like a kernel lock state with a mount that you can't dismount and have to reboot and all that nonsense. So there you go. What's going on? There it goes. Now, if we look at it, the files actually got some so NFS shares our UID and uh, they're group owned and um, they use UIDs and GIDs or GUI or whatever it is for the group ones. So we can't write or own these because they're not on our system, they're on the other system. So we have to actually make a user to match the permissions for that. So to do that, we do sudo add user, whatever you want to name it, and then the U flag for UID, and then the number that we're making. So do that, then type in your password if you have a password. New password, just make it something simple that you're not going to forget. You don't have to put any information in. I'm just going to delete this. Yes. All right, so SU into your new character. So then you can actually go into it now. Voila. So you get 4 employees. So if we cat that, we get file transfer protocol creds. So let's get this. And we'll save this up here because we're going to need that later. We'll actually make it easier to use. So we'll cut that, delete that, paste that. All right, now we're good. So we'll need to actually just copy this real quick. And then we can actually log in as we're into file transfer protocol. But first, we don't need this mount to be mounted, and we don't need that user to be there anymore. So let's clean our system up so that it's not all garbage with crap that we don't need. So for the user, just do exit since you SU into it, and then just do sudo user delete, and then that deletes the user, and then do sudo umount, and then the L flag for lazy. You don't have to, but that's just easier. To unmount it, and then do sudo rm rf the extra directory that you made. You don't need that either. So now we can actually go back into file transfer protocol. The user was file transfer user, and then the password that we had, and it says binary, so let's LSLA, and there's a password list and for admin. So let's get from admin, and then we'll get the passwords text too, or passwords list. I'll rename them. So I'm gonna rename from app, just so they're not hidden and so they're easier to use. So when we look at the from admin, it says to all employees, this is admin speaking. I came up with a safe list of passwords that you all can use on the site. These passwords don't appear on any word list I tested so far, so I encourage you to use them. Even I'm using one of those. Note to Rick, good job on limiting login attempts. It works like a charm. This will prevent any future brute forcing. So login is pointless, but they said that he uses one of the passwords in the password list that we have just gotten, and that his username is admin, like we already knew. So if we look at the password list, they're just random strings. They're not encoded or anything, just random text strings. So we know that one of these is his password, and we know from the cyber chef how the password is structured. So what we need to do is we need to make all of the passwords in the password list in into a MD5 hash, and then we need to put them in this format with the username admin with the colon, and then base 64 encode all of them. So to do that, it's a simple little bash loop, pretty much. So to do that, we'll just open up this real quick, and well, let's open up another one so we can just save it, and as one thing. So we'll do shebang for bash, and then it's just cat the name of the pass list dot text, and then you just pipe it, and then while you're freezing, there we go. While read line, then semicolon, do enter, and then we're just doing 4 spaces, and then echo the in flag for no new line, quote, $sign line, because we gave it a name up here, line, end quote, and then another pipe, and then MD5 sum, and then we'll do redirect that into a new list dot text, and then enter, and then done. Not right there. I don't know why it's doing that. That's crazy. All right. And then the next part, we need to, when MD5 prints something, it will do a hash, and then a space, and then a dash. That will mess up the whole encoding, so we need to strip that extra space and replace it with nothing. So what we do is we'll do sed single quote s whatever, print forward backslash whatever that is, space period, wild card, 2 more of those front or backslashes, 1 more single quote, and then new list, because that's the name that we just gave it before, text, and then we'll do that into cleaned, or whatever you want to name it, dot text, and then we can do the base 64 part, which will just be cat cleaned dot text, and then pipe that into while read line semicolon do enter 1 2 3 4 echo new line. Now we're doing admin because we got to put the username in there, and then the colon, and then we'll do the same variable with the line, end it with the double quote, and then just base 64 that, and then redirect that into final.text, and then done. And then that's all we need for this one. So we can actually just file, save as, just whatever you want to name it. I'm just making it a list maker and save it. So now we can mod it. And then run it. All right, so now it's ran. So now if we now if we see it, we get this. So let's just, take one just to, see what it's right. See, so it says admin, and then that's the MD5 hash of that. So it came out right. So now we need to go here and get the header for this, or parts of the header, because we need to make a Ffuf command. So for that we need to copy these. Well, let's make open another one so we can just save that too. So for this one we only need to copy a couple parts for this to work, which is so we need to go to request header, click the raw if you're in Firefox, and then we need the first two lines, the get and the host. Definitely, those are the first two. And then we need the refer address, and then we need the cookie part. But for the cookie, we'll just delete everything and put fuzz, and then we'll save this as whatever you want to name it, text file. So the command that we need to use is going to be, let's just type it out here so you can see it easier. It's just of request wherever you put your file at, and then request proto HTTP, and then the word list wherever you saved your word list as. So we'll just copy that. Well, we need to put a filter on it. So we know from here that there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 words. So we'll just do a filter for filter out words 9, or responses with 9 words. So we'll copy that and paste that, and What did I mess up on? Oh, I spelled no, dummy. There's a Q in there. Why didn't you guys tell me that? It made me look like a fool. No, I'm just kidding. All right, there we go. And bam, there we go. So now we know we got the admin cookie. So now if we just copy this, go to the web page and storage, cookies, paste it, enter, refresh, and we get administrator service status checker page. Provide the service name. So if we just type in SSH, it says, it gives you the output the same as system CTL would if you did system CTL status and then whatever service you wanted to check. So this is exactly what this is doing. So let's try if we do like to try to chain command. So SSH and then let's see if we could do LS. And it says command injection detected, please provide a service. So it is got a filter, so let's see if we can bypass that by like something. So let's do like 2 ands and then just like a ls, and sure enough that works. So we can run commands. So then all we need to do is get a reverse shell. To do that, let's start a netcat listener, and then we'll go to revshells.com and then get the bash I1, change your IP in ports, copy this, and then we're going to need to do one little thing to it. So just type bash C quote, paste that quote, and then copy that, and that's the command. Actually, let's just put ls and then the and in front of it, and then copy that whole thing. So we just paste it all in there at once. And then we go back here, paste it in here, and execute, and it hangs. So if we go back here, we get a shell. So we stabilize it by however you want to stabilize it with your method. I'm doing this one. I only need to do this part right here, the rows 27, columns 211, because my screen is in sections, so that's like the size of my terminal. To find yours, you just do stty size, and then whatever it prints out is the number that you need to do. The first one's rows, the second one's columns, because every terminal is different. So you do that. If you don't do that, that's when you get the like weird wraparound when you'll be like right here typing, and then it like ends up over here like typing over the things you just started typing, and everything gets all crazy. That's what this prevents. So if we just look in here, there's a config file. So we cat config, where you get Rick, of course, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. So let's copy that. and I'm sure we can just su as Rick with that password. And sure enough, we do get that. So let's change directory. And there's user text. So we get the first flag. And so now if we just do sudo, we need to get a flag back, our password. Good thing not, let's write that, save this somewhere so we don't lose it. Right here. Alright, so we got that, so we don't lose that again. So now if we do sudo l and then enter the password, we can run Apache 2 as a standalone, and it's fetching the Apache 2 configs and then launching Apache. And right here it's using the environment keep ld library path. So this room is all about hijack. So what we need to do is we need to hijack a library. So for that we need to list the libraries that are shared on the system. And to do that, we just type in this right here, LDD user, the SBin Apache. I'm just going to copy it. It's easier than typing it all out. So these are all the shared libraries that Apache uses. So we need to write a C code to have execute when we run Apache as the root user. So to do that, let's just copy the name of one of these because we're going to need it later. So I'm just going to use this one right here, this xpact. It's like a Excel or parser. So we'll open up another one of these. We'll paste that because we need that. So what we need to do is we need to make the C code, and to do that we'll do a here doc to write it in the shell. So to do that, it's just this. I'll just type everything out. It's just cat and we're going to put it in the temp folder on that side. And then whatever you want to name your C file, I'm just going to be calling it gotcha.c. And then this is going to just be the C code that we need. So it's a include base stdio.h. These are just like the imports like you would do in Python. You can name it whatever you want right here too. It doesn't have to be gotcha or, you know. So it's going to be 2 underscores and then attribute. 2 more underscores and then parentheses, constructor and constructor. And then void, gotcha, and then parentheses, and then curly brackets. This is like the function. So then it's going to be unset environment, and then it's going to be parentheses, double quotes, and then LD library path, double quote, parentheses, colon, and then set resuid, and then it's going to be a 0, 0, 0, parentheses, semicolon, and then system for the command, then bash p flag for privilege, double quote, parentheses, semicolon, in the function, and then it's going to be into the here doc, which is EOF again. So we can actually just copy all this at once and paste it in there, and it'll do what we need it to all in one go. So do it on this machine and just hit enter, and then to make sure it's in there, just, well, you know, when you do that, just do the temp, and it's in there. So now we need to compile it as a shared library with GCC. So it's GCC O for the output file, and we're doing in the temp, and then the name of the file was or the library that we copied was this. So we need this again. So this is, that goes there, and then it's not useful shared. Shared, and then the F flag uppercase PIC, because PIC means that it needs to be it needs to generate its own positional independent code for shared libraries, so it could load into memory anywhere. That's what that part means. And then the folder of the script that we're compiling, which is tmp gotcha.c, not x.c, and then enter. Let it do its thing, and don't worry about that's normal. Totally normal, don't worry about it. Everything's okay. Alright, now we need to do the sudo command, so it's just a little different than it's shown in the that we're supposed to run, because we need to do the LD path part to point to our library. So library path equals temp, and then we'll do the user sbin Apache 2 F Etsy Apache 2 Apache 2.conf -d Etsy.apache 2. Alright, now we need to copy the password again, because we need that for when we run it. So that's right here. Oh, we already typed it in for earlier, so we didn't need to type it in because we already were within the time, but we are root now. So if we just cat root.text, you get the flag. That's the end of the room. Like, comment, subscribe. If you have any questions or requests, hit me up. Peace.